We're live.
Good morning. Please stand and join us in singing our opening song, Open the Eyes of My Heart.
I want to see you.
We're still singing over here. I'm on delay from Facebook. Good morning. Are you feeling holy today? Yes. All right. Even if you're not, now's the time. Let's take a deep breath. Settling into this holy space and adding our holiness to it. In the space we are in here, in the sanctuary at Unity of Stuart, and the face we are in there, wherever you happen to be, those who are watching. And welcome. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service to everybody in the room and to everyone online. Generally speaking, we have Alana and Jess and Phil and Pam and Ann and Tony and Irma. And so welcome. We're glad you are here. And on the Facebook page, Patricia, Ellen, and Andorra, good morning. And for those of you who I cannot see, good morning to you as well. We're glad you're here. As always, we have with us the Joyful Noise Band and Choir. And today that's good. Today our special music is offered by, for the first time ever, Sandy Rowell. You're in for a treat. And it's time to welcome first-timers. If you are a first-timer present in the sanctuary and you feel comfortable and would like a welcome packet, please raise your hand. So Chuck I didn't think so. I think this is a day when there's nobody here for the first time. Well, welcome to everyone anyway. Glad you're here. If you are a first-timer online and you would like to receive a welcome packet, please email Eva at admin@unityofstuart.org, and she will be happy to send you a welcome packet. With all the stuff that's, and if anybody in the room would like to take a welcome packet or two to give out to a friend to let them know about Unity of Stuart, we invite you to do that as well. And most importantly, with all the things that are in the welcome packet, with everything else we may say here, one of the things I always like to say on Sunday morning is everyone is welcome here, no exceptions. We are a positive path of spirituality, and we honor everyone. Thank you for being here. I have a new clicker today, so everybody just pray. All right. Oh, the Coffee House is coming up on August 16th. So it's a one-of-a-kind Coffee House concert. It's a solo spotlight for our musicians, and each musician, everybody you see up here, and also Dr. Rick. Is that it? And Mike Barrett will each showcase songs in their particular style. Solo with, I'm sure, some accompaniment by band members. Yeah, a little bit? No, solo for sure. And so that's this coming Friday night. Friday night. And as always, it's we ask you to donate a love offering of $10. Of course, no one is turned away. Anybody want to say about it?
I'll have my voice back.
Yeah, Reni's losing her voice. So let's just take a moment and take a deep breath as we send loving, healing light to Reni and her throat and her voice. Seeing the healing power of spirit moving in and through Doreen, in and through her vocal cords, in and through her throat, seeing every cell, every tissue vibrating with the healing power of spirit. And so it is. Amen. And what's next? Unity World Day of Prayer is coming up. That's on September 12th. That's a Unity movement day of prayer. And the chaplains are facilitating a service here on Thursday night, that is, on September 12th from 6 to 7 p.m. It'll be contemplative with some readings sprinkled throughout. So we invite you here on September 12th at 6 o'clock for our World Day of Prayer. I guess that's it for now. Our boardie of the day, our director of the day, is Mary Claire Anderson Dykema. She's there in the back with a little bit longer hair than she has in that picture. And Mary Claire is here to serve. So if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to discuss about the church or anything at all, Mary Claire will be happy to talk to you. And if she doesn't know the answer to your question, she will be happy to come and find it. And we have prayer chaplains on. We have a prayer chaplain on duty today, and that prayer chaplain is the prayer chaplain lead, Amy Neff. There you are. There's Amy in her stole. And what the prayer chaplains do is they stay in the sanctuary after service for personal prayer. If you have anything that you'd like prayer support, a joy, a challenge, anything at all, Amy will be in the sanctuary after service to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. If you are online and would like to receive some prayer, you can email prayer@unityofstuart.org, and we will put you on our prayer list here. Or you can alternatively, or as well as, call Silent Unity Prayer Line at that number right there. So we are talking about the 11th power today, and that is the power of, it's elimination, and we also use both. So it's elimination/release. So I invite you to join me today as we dedicate our service to releasing what no longer serves us and making room for what does. I release. I am in the flow of life. We use the power of elimination to release, let go, and renounce. All living things release in one way or another. Without release, there is no life. Just as I would not fill my closet with clothes that don't fit, I do not fill my life with beliefs and ideas that don't reflect who I am and who I am becoming. Releasing is a powerful way to live my faith. I trust I am moving in the right direction. And I release items from my past with ease, grace, and gratitude. Release creates space in my life for new things. It is my way of opening to possibility, welcoming new opportunities, and keeping myself in the flow of life. Knowing that release is an important aspect of my spiritual practice, I release, knowing I am in the flow of life. And so we breathe, settle in, and be open to that power of release in our lives. Letting Spirit be Spirit in us, guiding us into knowing what is ours to release and what is ours to welcome in. I release. I am in the flow of life. And so it is. Amen. And let's affirm this affirmation together. I release. I am in the flow of life. So I just invite us for one moment, just kind of like shake your body and release any tension that you might be holding. And now I invite you to shake your brain and release any thoughts that you might wish to release this morning, any judgments, any resentments, anything at all. As we affirm one more time. I release. I am in the flow of life. And so it is. Amen. Let's prepare for meditation as we sing. And we breathe. Once again, releasing any tension from our bodies. Relaxing into this now moment and into the tones you are hearing. Allow those tones to move in and through you. Continuing to loosen up. And let what you hear help you to release, help you to relax, support you in being here now, in this holy time, in this holy space, connecting with Spirit, with the God of our understanding, by whatever name we call it. We open our hearts and minds to the activity of divine wisdom moving in and through us. And let's take those deep breaths. Feeling our feet on the floor. Dropping our attention from our heads to our hearts. Open to the gifts of Spirit right here and right now. And I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart. Placing my attention on my physical body, I bless and appreciate the body's natural ability to release what needs to be released, anything that we may call harmful, anything that has accumulated. I celebrate my body's natural capacity for release. And I am grateful. And I place my attention on my mind and thoughts. I bless my ability to release the past, to drop patterns of behavior that don't serve me, and to free myself from false assumptions and beliefs that disempower me. I am grateful for my ability to release. With every breath, I release my human understanding and welcome my spiritual understanding. I am open to new insights, new ideas, new ways of thinking about myself, others, and the world. I am grateful for release, knowing I am in the flow of divine life. I am grateful for release. I am in the flow of divine life. In the quiet. invite you into one more deep, conscious breath. Bringing into your awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart, and all of those that are in our minds and hearts this morning. And as you hold all in faith and divine light and love, I invite you to speak names or issues or things you'd like to release into this holy space. And releasing all to the care and keeping of the one. Please join me in praying this in the name and the nature of the light and in the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing.
Good morning. Good morning. I think a lot of you know that I've had a milestone birthday. I turned 70 on Wednesday, and I found this song by Karen Drucker, and I think it applies to all of us. So I hope you all enjoy it. Okay. No matter what age, no matter how I look, there's beauty in each stage. I am a gift, and I promise every day, when I look into the mirror, I'll say, I am a gift. I am, I am, I has a different tale to tell. I've made mistakes, have some regrets, but I promise I'll never forget. I am a gift. 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 There may be times when I forget the truth about me, when it seems time and youth are just marching on without me. That's when I may need you to find me and ever so gently remind me that I am a gift. I'm God's precious child. I'm put here on this earth, but only for a while. So I make this vow, and I say it with love. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am a gift. I am a gift. I am a gift. There may be times when I forget the truth about me, when it seems time and you are just marching on without me. That's when I may need you to find me, ever so gently remind me I am a gift. Gift, I'm God's precious child. I'm put here on this earth, but only for a while. So I make this vow, and I say it with love. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am a gift. I am a gift. I am a gift. No matter my age. I am a gift. No matter what I weigh. I am a gift. No matter what I've been told. I am a gift. I am a perfect, precious child of God, and I am a gift. You are a gift. We are a gift.
Right? It only took her 20 years. 30 years. Wow. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Joyful Noise. And I barely even cried, Sandy. I was a mess on Tuesday night at the rehearsal. All right. Whew. So we are in our 11th week of our Unity 12 Power series. And we focus, as I said, on the power of elimination, also known as release. And today we're using the movie Up. Now, Glenn, you don't need to weigh in on this. If it's the first time hearing me rag on Glenn, he hasn't seen any of the movies that we've been talking about. This is the 11th movie, and he hasn't seen this one. The movie Up. Pixar? Up. Who's seen it? Okay, oh good. So the rest of you, after this lesson, you're going to want to go home and watch it. You have to rent it, I think, unless you're on a streaming service that I'm not on. So elimination or release is about letting go of what no longer serves us, yeah? And as we grow, right, and our awareness becomes awakened, we are called to do that work, that work of releasing of what no longer serves us, to release our past and everything that we're holding on to that doesn't serve us anymore. Think of it like pulling weeds from a garden. You do it to give the flowers and the vegetables space to grow, because those weeds will sometimes choke the life out of them. And that's what happens with us as well when we're holding old resentments, negative thoughts, things that don't serve us, old habits. So we are called, as we do this work, to look at those things, to allow our consciousness become aware of our awakened, aware consciousness to become aware of what's down here, right? This, in the subconscious consciousness, and weed those thoughts and those ways of being out. Now, they may have helped us in the past, those things that we hold on to, but if my experience could be a litmus test for everyone's, is that there are some things that I have held on to in my life, that my life got immeasurably better when I let them go. It's about withdrawing our thoughts from anything that isn't in tune with the divine pattern for our lives. Anything that isn't in tune with the divine pattern of our lives. So we sort that stuff out. We allow those feelings to arise and navigate those and release them. This also works for thoughts that we hold that we think are profound as well. Have you ever gone back and read the first spiritual book you ever picked up? Or the first spiritual teaching that you ever heard, and think about that? I'm guessing that as time has passed, if you read that book or listen to that teaching again, that it doesn't land in the same way that it did when you first heard it. And why do you suppose that is? Because you're different. Because we're different. Now, Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher, said that you can't step in the same river twice. Because the river changes, and so do we. And it's the same with our spiritual teachings. So if you're absolutely sure about a spiritual teaching that you learned years and years ago, I bet you if you bring that up and contemplate it, it'll hit in a different way. You can't step in the same river twice. We can't reap the benefits if we don't allow ourselves to change and grow, to look at our thoughts. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, said, "Thoughts are things. They occupy space in the mental field. A healthy state of mind is attained and continued when the thinker willingly lets go of old thoughts." Now, notice the word is willingly. Right? He's not saying kicking and screaming and letting go of old thoughts. Willingly let go of old thoughts takes on the new. He says further, there must be a letting go of the old thoughts before the new can find a place in consciousness. Living old thoughts over and over again keeps the inlets of the new thoughts closed. Let's go back to the metaphor of the river. A river can't run unless it's getting some new water in it and releasing the old water somewhere else, right? The same with us. We need to release and get in the flow of life. 3 questions I found helpful when we're questioning whether it's time for me to let go of a belief or a story. First question is this belief or thought or story helping me to rationalize something I said I wouldn't do? I said I wouldn't do something, but I'm letting an old story help me break my promise. Sound familiar? Second question, which is just a reverse of the first one, Is this belief or thought or story helping me to make an excuse for not doing something I said I would do? And the third question, does this belief or thought or story make someone else wrong? Now, if you've been around for a minute and a half, you know that every time we try to make somebody else wrong, we're not thinking right. Whenever we're trying to make something wrong, someone wrong. So if our current belief or thought or story meets any of those criteria, it's time to let it go. Unity teacher David Williamson, when talking about releasing in a positive way, said this: recognize it, face it, let it go, replace it with something better, and make amends where possible. Release it, let it go. Release it, face it, let it go. Replace it with something. Let me start from the beginning. Recognize it, face it, let it go, replace it with something better and healthier, and make amends when possible. So this brings us to our movie this week, Up. So Up is the story of Carl and Ellie Fredrickson. They were childhood sweethearts. Childhood, in the movie, the first 5 minutes of this movie are the sweetest love story ever. They meet as children, and they dream of adventure in faraway places. So they have a dream to go to Paradise Falls in South America. However, life and life's challenges get in the way of them getting to Paradise Falls. And after a very long and loving life together, Ellie dies before they reach their dream. Carl is on the verge of being forced to go into a nursing home, so he decides to go to Paradise Falls on his own. And let's look at how he tries to get there. These are trying to take him away to the nursing home.
Morning, gentlemen.
Jerry, you're going to turn that up.
Good morning, Mr. Fredrickson. You ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be. Would you do me a favor and take this? I'll meet you at the van in just a minute. I want to say one last goodbye to the old place.
Sure. Take all the time you need, sir.
I'll send you a postcard from Paradise Falls. We're on our way, Ellie.
So before this, in the movie, before flying off in his house, Carl has met a young wilderness explorer named Russell. Now, Russell shows up, knocks on Carl's door, and his mission, he's got to earn his last badge as a wilderness explorer. And his mission then is to help an old person. And so Carl, trying to get rid of him, tells him he's got to find this bird that's called a snipe, I think. And he tells him it's in the backyard, and Russell goes away. But right before this, unbeknownst to Carl, Russell has stowed away on the porch of his house. So he knocks on the door, and if you couldn't tell by that clip, Carl is pretty grumpy. He's a grumpy person, and he begrudgingly lets Russell in, and they both fly off to South America. So when they get there, through trials and all that kind of thing, they encounter a large exotic bird that Russell calls Kevin, and a dog who can talk thanks to a special collar. And they eventually find Carl and Ellie's childhood hero, the explorer Charles Muntz, who's living in his blimp, the spirit of adventure. And now he is in search of this elusive, what he calls monster bird. Now, Carl is initially thrilled to meet Muntz, but soon realizes that Muntz isn't really a good guy. He has become attached, you might say obsessed, with finding this bird, and then he realizes that the bird he's trying to find is Russell's bird that he has named Kevin. So, mayhem ensues, and in escaping from his former idol, Carl's forced to look at his life and his loves and let go of the past to find his future. So this movie has everything. It's a fantasy, it's a love story, it's a comedy, it's a drama, it's adventure. And it's also an incredible example of how we are called to let go, to release our stuff that we hold and our past, even our closely held beliefs that no longer serve us. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a foreshadowing. When they're kids, Ellie gives Carl a grape soda pin badge, a bottle top, when they become buddies. And as she hands over the badge, she says, "You and me, we're in a club now." It's a sign of the friendship they'll have for years to come. So back to Carl. After Ellie dies, we see that Carl's life has become totally about maintaining her memory. And he wants to keep the house that they built together exactly as it was when she died, including the 2 chairs where they always sat together. He sits in that chair after Ellie dies, and they have this adventure book, and he's constantly paging through the adventure book, and he always stops at the page that says, "Stuff I'm going to do." So as I said before, that life got in the way. They had been repeatedly trying to save coins and money for their trip. They had a big jar and they'd fill it, and then life would happen, and they had to spend that money on a roof, on tires, on somebody with a broken leg. So Paradise Falls kept getting pushed off into the future. And this caused Carl a lot of grief that they didn't get to make it to the falls. Now, his idol, Charles Muntz, has his own grief, right? He'd been humiliated by his peers when he came home decades before and said he had found the great bird, and he brought the skeleton, and he was accused of lying. Now, that caused him to be very resentful and angry, and he said, "I'll show you. I'll go back and find that bird," which explains his obsession. And then there's Russell and Doug, the dog who can speak because of his special collar. When Doug first meets Carl, he jumps on him like a dog and says, "I've just met you and I love you." So we start to see in the movie the juxtaposition of the fresh eyes and openness that Russell has and the dog has, and the attachments and suffering of Mr. Muntz and of Carl. Now, up until this point, Carl just tunes out everything he doesn't want to hear. Does that sound familiar? If something makes us really uncomfortable, I don't want to look at that. Wait a minute. I believe this, and if I look at that, I might have to open my mind and change my thinking about something. Well, Carl doesn't want to open his mind, and he ignores Russell, even when Russell is trying to tell him that there's a dangerous storm on the way. But as we move through the movie, we see that the relationship between Carl and Russell is deepening. And they have a very sweet scene where Russell shares how much he misses his father. His parents are divorced, and his father is absent. And he relates a time when they used to go get ice cream, and they would sit on the curb outside the ice cream parlor, and they would count different colored cars. And Russell says, I really liked that curb. It might sound boring, but I think it's the boring stuff I remember the most. So what happens is that Russell has asked Carl to help protect Kevin the bird. And there's a glitch that develops here. At this point, Muntz has captured Kevin and has set Carl and Ellie's house on fire to keep them from chasing him. So now remember, Carl has said that he would help Russell keep Kevin safe. But as the house is on fire and Kevin is kidnapped, Carl turns his back and goes to save the house, because that house has become the most important thing to him, because in his view, it holds all of the memories of Ellie. And Russell is very understandably hurt by this. And so we can see how deep Carl's attachment is to the past, to that house. So let's look at the three questions that I shared earlier. Is the story that I tell myself helping me rationalize doing something I said I wouldn't do? Is it helping me to make an excuse for not doing something I said I would do? Or does this story make me think somebody else is wrong? So he had promised to help protect the bird, but a story about the house is making him break his promise. Now, Russell leaves by himself with some balloons from the house to save Kevin. And Carl is left alone sitting in his chair, as always, right beside Ellie's empty chair. So he once again picks up his adventure book that he's looked at several times before, and he looks at the tattered pages, and he gets to the page that always stops him, the one that says, things I'm going to do.
Russell?
Russell! I'm gonna help Kevin, even if you won't.
No, Russell, no! Russell? Dad!
I was hiding under your porch because I love you. Can I stay?
Can you stay? Well, you're my dog, aren't you? And I'm your master.
You are my master! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Good boy, Doug. You're a good boy.
So I put that thing about the adventure book in the wrong place in my notes. So he looks through the adventure book, and he gets to that page that says, stuff I will do, that I'm going to do. And that page, and he assumed that right after that the book would be blank. But this time his finger catches the next page, and he catches a glimpse of a picture. And it's a picture he's never noticed before. And as he turns the page, he realizes it's his wedding picture to Ellie. And he keeps turning the pages, and he realizes, and he sees that Ellie has documented their whole life together. And on the very last page, it's a picture of Ellie in her chair, gazing out the window. And she's written the words, "Thanks for the adventure. Now go out and have a new one." And that's when this clip happens. He sees that life with Ellie was the adventure. It wasn't all the things that they didn't do. It was the life that they had together. It was the broken leg. It was the changing of the tires. It was when the tree fell on the house. It was when they did things together. And this is what Ellie had always understood, and now Carl understood it as well. So with this new perspective, he goes out and he sets out to rescue Russell, who has grabbed those bunch of balloons. And of course, he lets go of all of the things. He throws that one chair in a fit of anger off the porch, and something clicks, and he realizes that he's been attached to everything in the house, and he recognizes what's the most important thing is to save Russell. Those two chairs on the cliff is a powerful demonstration of him letting go of what he thought actually held the memory of his wife. And he cheers when the house takes off. And that's how light we can feel when we let go. When we let go of that which we have been holding on to for years, sometimes for decades. I'm in a class on Thursday nights, and it's called Forgiving the Shadow. Now, the shadow, you might know, is what Carl Jung talks about, says it's all the things that we don't want to look at. Shadow is like we carry all these things in a sack on our back that we don't want to look at. And there was one woman in the class, we were talking about what is something that we want to let go of. And another woman told the story of her ability to release something that she was holding against a family member for 15 years. She didn't speak to that family member. And in doing this work of releasing and letting go, she was able to release whatever she was holding on about that and be able to reach out to her family member. And it was good. So we release that thing that we are holding on to, and just like this woman in my class, we get lighter. We recognize what's important in our lives. And that's what Carl did. Carl couldn't start on his new adventure. He couldn't help Russell until he released all of the baggage that was holding him back. A colleague I have tells the story of something that she did. She was going go-karting with her young nephew, and she realized that as she was getting into the cart, that these carts could go pretty fast around the track. So she got nervous. So she was driving the cart with one foot on the gas, on the accelerator, and one foot on the brake. True story. And as she got more comfortable, she started putting more pressure on the accelerator, but she wasn't going any faster. And finally, one of the attendants looked at her and yelled, "Take your foot off the brake!" In that moment, she said, it was then I realized that she was pushing down the accelerator harder and harder, but she still had her foot on the brake, and the fear that first made her cautious then kept holding her back. It became unconscious, right? Which is why I said in the beginning, we have to be willing to let that unconscious, subconscious stuff come up so we can shine the light on it and deal with it and release it. And she says, the minute I took my foot off the brake, I immediately had full access to the power of the accelerator. Think about that. The minute we release, we get that full power from Spirit. So once Carl let go of his attachment to the past, he had the lift he needed to fly to his next adventure. So this invites us to look at our lives and our beliefs and ask ourselves, where is our foot on the brake? What aren't we releasing? Are we willing to forgive when we need to? Are we willing to look at our thoughts, our beliefs, our opinions, and our stories and let go of what doesn't serve our highest good? And we don't have to deny the past. We don't have to ignore the past. We just have to stop giving it most of our attention. So release it. Let it go and get the lift. We get to be more like Russell and Doug, who are curious about everything and have open hearts. Now, at the very end of the movie, as his house floated away, Carl looked at it, and you could see that his transformation was complete as he said, "It was just a house. It's just a house." And that brings us to the end of the film, where the bird, Kevin, is rescued, and Carl and Russell have returned home.
Receiving their badges, the following explorers will graduate to senior explorers. For extreme mountaineering lore, congratulations, Jimmy. For wild animal defensive arts, congratulations, Brandon. For assisting the elderly, Russell, is there someone that,
Excuse me, pardon me, old man coming through. I'm here for him.
Congratulations, Russell. Sir?
Russell, for assisting the elderly and for performing above and beyond the call of duty, I would like to award you the highest honor I can bestow, the Ellie Badge.
All right, I think that covers everybody. So let's give a big explorer call to our brand new senior wilderness explorers. Ready, everybody?
And right after that scene, there's the scene of Russell and Carl sitting on the curb in front of the ice cream shop, counting cars. So the biggest lesson that I've taken from this movie is that two big lessons. Releasing what needs to be released makes us lighter. And that life is an adventure. This life is an adventure. And it matters who we're sharing that adventure with. So I invite us to embark on our own adventures, unburdened by the past and open to the infinite possibilities of the present. Remembering that we're never alone on this journey because the activity, the awareness of spirit is always right here. And we have each other. And we have that infinite love of spirit, of divine guidance leading the way. I affirm this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. And we move into our love offering, our celebration of abundance. And we thank you on behalf of our board and all of us, because we all love Unity of Stuart. Thank you. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your service. Thank you to our consistent givers. I hope you all feel the impact of your presence, your power, and your gifts to Unity of Stuart. Let's affirm. There's ways to give. I think Soap is probably putting underneath the video the ways that you can contribute to Unity of Stuart. And let us affirm our prosperity prayer and then our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing about it. yoga. We have 2 yoga classes going on now. On Wednesdays, we have Sonia Holbrook. That's beginning this week at 9 o'clock here in the classroom. And then on Thursdays, we have Nancy Miller doing yoga at 10 o'clock in the classroom. We invite you to join one or both of those. Sonia is here today. If you have any questions, Sonia, would you just raise your hand back there? Or stand up? Yeah, let people see. Pink shirt. If you have any questions about Sonia's yoga, not yogurt. All right, what else? So we have several extra sanctuary chairs available for you. If you're interested, please see Eva in the office. If you'd like one of these sanctuary, not one of these, but one of the ones in the classroom to take home and use however you like it. And if you would like to serve as in hospitality on the usher team or the welcome team, please sign up at the information table or see Eva. Could have sworn I had a slide about this. The coalition for, the community coalition opposing Project 2025 is renting this space to show a movie on September 15th called Bad Faith, and it's about Christian nationality. If you want to know anything more about that, you can look on the bulletin board, or you can, not on the bulletin board, you can talk to Roberta after service, and she'll be happy to talk to you a little bit more. And if you don't know about Project 25, you can look that up. We have kiddos out there, and let's stand as we sing them in. Can be seated. Who wants to speak? Say your name, sweetie.
I'm Beatrice. Hello. Today, we talked about school, and then we got a piece of paper, and then we wrote out a message. I wrote no stress for the school year, and then after we wet chalk, and then we did a bunch of stuff. We drew a bunch of stuff. I drew good grades because I like good grades, I guess.
Right. All right. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you. You look lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On that note, I would ask that all of you please keep our kids on your prayer list as they go into their school year. We're praying for a safe, peaceful, successful year. Thank you. And I don't know if you knew this, but next week we are having a car wash. We're so excited. Buy your tickets now. They're going fast.
So the tickets are $15. This is a fundraiser so our kids can go to rallies and retreats, the older kids. And so your support helps them get there with ease.
Yes.
All right. Let's sing. Let's sing. Bless our kids. Let us close with a prayer for protection and the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine.